Hi, I'm Lee Gatiss and this is Lee on the Lectionary, and we're looking today at the lectionary readings for the 5th Sunday of Lent in Year A. And those readings are Ezekiel 37 verses 1 to 14, Romans chapter 8 verses 6 to 11, and John 11 verses 1 to 45. This week's readings proclaim to us the glorious new life of the Spirit that is ours in Christ through his powerful word. Ezekiel's vision of a valley of dry bones is a vision of the people of God without the Spirit. Though chosen by God, they are dead and lifeless before he speaks to regenerate and enliven them. The deathly, hopeless scene is transformed by the noise of rattling bones as the breath of God, carried on the prophet's words, enters the valley. Though originally a picture of a nation restored to their land after the Babylonian exile, this has often been seen as paradigmatic, a suggestive model of how the sovereign Lord works to bring life to his people. The purpose of God's actions and words here, as with all his acts of self-revelation, is to make friends with us. Then they shall know that I am the Lord, and know that I have spoken, he says. Jesus demonstrates the symbolic truth of Ezekiel 37 in the life of one particular Israelite in our gospel reading. Just as last week we met a man who had been born blind so that the works of God might be displayed in him, so this week we see a man who is allowed to die and a corpse that is permitted to fester so that the Son of God might be glorified in this new life. Through the faith displayed in the intimate interactions between Jesus and Lazarus' sisters, we discover that Jesus is not only a powerful healer, but he is the resurrection and the life. The dead will rise at the last day, as Martha confesses, but to prove his power over death even now, the living Lord speaks the word, and out the beloved man comes from what was thought to be his final resting place. He is raised to die again. But this points to the stupendous reality of Jesus' own resurrection from the dead, which is a once and for all time resurrection to a new world, never to die again, not just a temporary restoration. Romans chapter 8 verse 11 begins with an awesome idea. It says, if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you, that very thought, that the Spirit could dwell in us, a spirit of such immense power, is surely a magnificently humbling one. Not only that, but he who raised Christ from the dead will give life to your mortal bodies, also through his Spirit who dwells in you. Strength for today, bright hope for tomorrow. And along with the 10,000 blessings that accompany this, there is a new impulse to live for him. As our Article 13 of the 39 Articles reminds us, works done before the grace of Christ and the inspiration of his Spirit are not pleasant to God. Or as Paul puts it, those who are in the flesh cannot please God. Cannot please God. Without the Spirit, even their seemingly good works only ever have the nature of sin and are without merit in his eyes, however stunning their quality may appear to us. Yet those who by faith are possessed by the Spirit can and must please God, who died, who rose and lives for them. A privilege and a duty that is ours in Christ alone.